कि वो हम सभी को मार्गदर्शन करें। माननीय वेंकैया नायडू जी।
महाराष्ट्र एजुकेशन सोसाइटी गवर्निंग बॉडी चे चेयरमन श्री जाजू सहस्रबुद्धे जी, MESA चे सचिव डॉक्टर भरत वेंकटे जी, MESA सहाय सचिव श्री सुधीर गडे जी, इतिहास ग्रंथाचे लेखिका डॉक्टर केतकी मोडक जी आणि पुण्यातून ह्या कार्यक्रमात भागे घेणारे MESA अध्यक्ष एअर मार्शल श्री भूषण गोखले जी, कार्यक्रमात उपस्थित गव्हर्निंग बॉडीचे सदस्य, लाईफ मेंबर्स बोर्डचे सदस्य, विविध शैक्षणिक संस्थाचे अध्यक्ष, चेअरमन आणि मॅनेजमेंट कमिटीचे सदस्य, शिक्षक, विद्यार्थी आणि विद्यार्थिनी, मित्रांनो, ध्यास पंथे चालता 160 वर्षांच्या महाराष्ट्र एज्युकेशन सोसायटीच्या शैक्षणिक इतिहास या पुस्तकाचे अनावरण करताना आज मला अतिशय आनंद होत आहे। या अनुषंगाने हे पुस्तक प्रकाशित केल्याबद्दल मी MESच्या मॅनेजमेंटचे तसेच लेखक डॉक्टर केतकी मोडक यांचे अभिनंदन करतो। मुझे यह विश्वास है कि यह पुस्तक महाराष्ट्र एजुकेशन सोसाइटी योगदान पर शोध और अध्ययन करने वाले हर पाठक के लिए जरूरी संदर्भ ग्रंथ साबित होंगे। एक छोटी सी शुरुआत से इस सोसाइटी ने अपने विगत 160 वर्षों की यात्रा में कितनी ही सराहनीय उपलब्धियां हासिल की है। आई एम श्योर that this book will serve as a useful reference tool for the readers to trace the evolution of MES from its humble roots, while recounting various stirring anecdotes of its journey over 160 years. It is pertinent to recall that the Maharashtra Education Society was one of the first private educational institutions in Pune, established way back in 1860. With efforts of stalwarts such as the great Adya Krantikari Sri Vasdev Balwant Padkeji, among others. The noble intention behind setting up this institution was to build an educational platform that would impart scientific education to the youth, forge a strong character, and instill lofty ideals in them. Importantly, it is sought to foster the values of nationalism among the people. This organization was not an exception. Starting from the middle of 19th century, organizations such as the Paramahamsa Mandali, Pune Sarvajanik Sabha, and Satya Sodak Samaj, with inspired leadership from stalwarts such as Dadoba Pandurangaji, Ganesh Vasudev Joshi ji, Mahadev Govind Ranade ji, and Mahatma Jyotibai Phule were at the forefront in bringing meaningful social reform in India. The establishment of such institutions eventually led to a wave of nationalism and aroused the patriotic spirit of our great freedom fighters in the years to come. Their work in democratizing education, fighting social evils, and spreading scientific temper, challenging the administration on just causes, and engendering social reform continued to reap benefits for the region and inspired similar movements elsewhere in the country too. It is no exaggeration to say that Maharashtra was at the forefront in producing such leaders and organizations during the Indian Renaissance and laying the ideological foundations for the freedom struggle over the next century. At a time when we are honoring our national heroes through Azadi Ka Amrita Mahotsav, we must not forget the role of these unsung heroes such as M.G. Ranade, Vasudev Balwant Phadkeji, and many others. One of the founding members of this organization, Sri Vasudev Balwant Phadkeji, was also one of the earliest revolutionaries who fought for India's independence from colonial rule. He rightfully earned the title Adya Krantikarak. The valiant manner in which he fought against the Britishers by preaching the mantra of Swaraj and gathering the support of the local communities is truly legendary. We must teach our children the stories of such brave heroes. And this land has seen school textbooks should mention anecdotes in their life journey in an engaging way. It is my conviction that the lives of freedom fighters must become a source of inspiration for the next generation. That's why I always say that all our textbooks, they should contain the life and sacrifices of our great freedom fighters. The present generation really should be told about such great heroes and their contribution to the social reformation as well as freedom movement. That will inspire these generations. Unfortunately, the advent of British Raj, we lost our conscience. They have imposed their version of the history on us, ignoring the real Indian history. They did not give adequate coverage to the stalwarts of this country. And subsequently, what is more unfortunate is, even after we were able to drive away Britishers and attain independence, the educational system continued to have some sort of a colonial tinge. This should be done away with totally. The new educational policy is very inspirational. It focuses its attention on this, in this direction. I am confident that with successful implementation of the national educational policy, our outlook of our children, youngsters, will change. Our glorious history must unshackle our minds of inferiority complex we may harbor. We are not inferior. We don't have a superiority complex, but we should not suffer from inferiority complex because of the writings in such books. Tales from our hard-won freedom struggle must remind us of the values of social harmony we have always cherished as a civilization. History can indeed educate, enlighten, and emancipate us. That should be the purpose. My dear sisters and brothers, one of the noblest aspects of institutions such as the Maharashtra Education Society, the Deccan Education Society, and other such organizations is that education for them was a mission. Education is a mission. We should not give any remission or do any omission. And education is not for a commission. This has to be understood, and this has to be followed by one and all. They understood the imparting the youth modern scientific education was an enlightened way of empowering India with a formidable weapon to fight the British. It was not only important for our industrialization, but also gives us much needed self-respect and confidence. It also gives the aspiring young population a chance to prove that Indians are no way inferior to others in any field, be it science, medicine, arts, or law. I am glad to know that the Maharashtra Education Society is continuing its patriotic mission even today, which is clear from the impressive list of distinguished alumni of its institution boasts of. My sisters and brothers, education needs to be driven by the same missionary spirit today. The fast-paced, increasingly interconnected world of the 21st century needs a 21st century touch to the education sector too. In this quest to redefine our approach towards education, our national education policy, is an important milestone. It is truly a futuristic document that can transform the educational landscape in India. By emphasizing interdisciplinarity and also multidisciplinarity, the new policy is also well poised to help India reach its demographic dividend. States and education institutions must enthusiastically implement. I underline all the institutions, state or the local, they should enthusiastically implement the provisions of this new policy and give our youth an opportunity to effectively compete with the world in all fields. The pandemic has also taught us that the mode of education cannot be status quo anymore. With the digital classrooms, smart devices, and micro courses on offer on many online platforms, private and public education institutions should also adopt these new hybrid standards in education. Vocational courses and distance education delivered through modern technologies can bridge geographical barriers and reach remote areas. They must be fully explored and further scaled up. In conclusion, let me state once again that I am happy to have released this book today. I commend the efforts behind bringing out this research-based informative book that dwells into the journey of an important education institution. I hope that this will inspire many more books on the region, the origins of our various historical organizations. My best wishes to the Maharashtra Education Society, the publishers and the author for their future endeavors. I was so much impressed by the good work done or being done now by this educational institution. Pune is known for education, known for social reform, known for patriotism. Great stalwarts were born there. So their life and their teachings and preachings must be made available to the younger generation so that they get inspiration. Thank you. Namaskar. Jai Hind.